Good.
Okay, Ms. Sidvish. Thank you so much.
All right, Bhavya.
Thank you. My name is Bhavya Singh. I am a Hindi teacher at Sunnyvale School District. I teach at the summer program, which is a joint combination with Stanford STEP program. It's in California. I'm also a startup technology specialist at NYU MEIS at Hindi and Urdu teachers training program. Today I'm going to present on VoiceThread, a tool that is a very powerful tool to build up an oral proficiency in an online language classroom format. So moving forward, this is my email address if you want to contact me. And now, so the main objective of today's VoiceThread is we are going to learn about how it works, what are the languages it supports, and if we want to have it in our school district or in our institution, what are the requirements and what are the ways in which we can move forward in order to use it in our world language classrooms, especially in a hybrid and a 100% online format. And we will also today see a couple of lessons that I prepared or I used in my past language classrooms, integrating it in my curriculum and having students start working on the whole VoiceThread oriented lesson plan. So let me give a brief, short intro of what exactly is VoiceThread. VoiceThread is one of the most powerful web tools. First of all, it doesn't need a software. It's 100% cloud-based application. That means that you have to go and make your classroom online, and you can invite your students to join the online platform that is supported at the cloud. The only thing that you need is a system requirement, that is Adobe Flash, that is updated, as well as a web browser and an internet connection, along with a licensed permit of using a VoiceThread. So VoiceThread can be used for all the three modes of communication as interpretive, interpersonal, and presentational mode to build the language skills and proficiency levels of the students in the world language classroom. How it works. So when we are using VoiceThread, we can have them integrated with the Google Classroom. We can have it installed in any of our LMSs. Recently, I have seen being integrated in Canvas and in Blackboard. This is for the high institutions, and if we are at a district level in a school district, then it works best with the Google Classroom as well. And the things that are required is a broadband internet, along with Google Classroom's license. That is what it is needed if we are using at a school district. So starting off with VoiceThread, we need, we can upload pictures, we can upload documents, medias, for example, some YouTube videos or videos that we make, we can upload them. And the students can see, and they can either type their comment, they can record it using the audio files or the video files. They can, in any of the three or four modes, they can record their comments using the microphone, text, video, or simply a file upload from their desktop or the laptops that they're using. there are 2 or 3 types of comments that they can leave. The simple version is just hit the threaded comment and they can comment. I will show you later during my presentation that how exactly we have used VoiceThread, and it works best in a group setting of the students where some students upload their videos and the rest of the students in the group can leave their comments using any of the 4 or 5 powerful tools of commenting. Now we can discuss like how we can share it. So the VoiceThread can be shared within. We can set up the privacy settings that it can be shared within the class. If we are working especially with K to 12 students, and so the setting has to be modified according to their requirement, and then it can be shared with a specific in a specific platform, and then it can be shared like if for the whole world. So there are 3 settings in which our work can be shared to the different platforms. So I'm going to show you an example of how we are going to I have used VoiceThread in my classroom. Going back to the presentation, moving forward. So these are the languages, as I have discussed earlier. We have either have the keyboard setup or the language for the icon buttons. We can use them. And there are licenses that are available. It's for K to 12, single educator. Then there's a business individual license, and then it's like for entire school district. And these are the pricing. For $15 per month is a single educator, and the 75 is for a school district, and 450 or 350 and above. So I would like to share how the other ways I used VoiceThread in my Hindi class. I used as one of the digital storytelling methods in which I integrated with PowerPoint and Google Doc. The important thing I want to share is that if, like most of our teachers, we make presentation using Google Slides or PowerPoint, the good thing about VoiceThread is that it can easily be integrated with the VoiceThread, and we can use each of our slides, and we can upload our comments and medias along with those slides and use everything in our lesson plan. The only thing with the PowerPoint is that we have to save the PowerPoint slides in the mode of as a PDF or a picture formatting, and then it can be uploaded. So for the interpersonal activities, I used one of the Hindi storybooks. It's called Panchtantra, and I selected a story and I uploaded its pictures on the VoiceThread and asked my students after a little bit of discussion and like how they are going to remodel that whole story and change the ending of that story, and try to work on create a new story and then present it through the VoiceThread using all of the tools or of their choices in order to present their new storyline. The another example is the self-introduction that I already showed you, how I integrated VoiceThread. The technology used was only VoiceThread. I didn't integrate any other technology at that because it was at a novice level. So I kept it only with the VoiceThread. The another example where I integrated VoiceThread is at the intermediate level. The proficiency of these students were intermediate mid. So I have integrated a couple of other technology tools. It was Adobe Spark, Edpuzzle, so in which I have used the Google Classroom as my LMS, and I have integrated VoiceThread along with that. So they watched a couple of authentic material videos through yoga that were based on yoga and health. And so their performance was to create a movie, digital movie, and they will that will encourage the community members to raise awareness how they can use yoga as an effective way of living a healthy life for their overall mental, physical, and spiritual health. So after, as an interpretive activity, they were watching the video and taking down notes and filling up the infographics that I provided them in the class. And in the interpersonal activity, they were they selected a couple of authentic material videos, uploaded there within their groups, and they were discussing like what are the good things that they can extract from the videos, and writing down. And then at the end, in their presentation, they made a movie and they uploaded it and shared it with the Indian community members that we have invited during our open house on the community day in our school district. And now this is one of the Indian festival lesson plans in which I have integrated VoiceThread and with Google Expedition, in which I used the view readers through the Google Expedition. They were visiting Indian streets and where different types of Indian festivals were being celebrated, and after watching, they were taking important notes of how they have, what are the different things that they have noticed when any festival is celebrated in India, and what are the specific things that they do when they celebrate an Indian festival. So they made a PowerPoint presentation of all the things, and they took the resources from using web browser, and they made a PowerPoint presentation and they work on it. And at the last, they use VoiceThread and their PowerPoint presentation and uploaded their narration to it using the target language that that is Hindi, and shared it with their class for the comments and the feedback. And it was for the intermediate heritage speakers. Yeah. I have a link at the end, if you can click to that, and if you have any questions or ideas like how you can use VoiceThread, I will be really happy to answer any questions if there are at the end. And all the lesson plans were designed on ACFL's World Readiness Standards, so they are performance-based tasks. So, Miss Advish?
Yes.
I think.
Sorry, I was talking, but I was muted.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, I'm going to. Looking for my video. Okay. All right. So, do we have any questions? Any questions from the audience? So you want the link to, somebody is asking for the link to the Padlet. That's true. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share the actual presentation link in the chat window, and this way you will be able to, anybody in the, you'll be able to click on the actual presentation and gain access to it. Can somebody check the link and confirm that it works? Okay.
Padlet is already on.
Mm-hmm. Has anybody in this group used VoiceThread? Do you have any experience with it? Are there activities that you could, oh, you need access. Oh.
It's, right, it says we're not, we need
Oh,
the
okay.
access code.
It is because, done. Let me try again. We'll give you access. Okay, it should be. Anybody on the internet can find the presentation. Good. I'm reading a question here. Oh, okay. Do you find that the students enjoy recording their voices because it is less intimidating than talking to another person?
Um, yes, yeah. So the students who are on the quieter side, or like I open the option of using VoiceThread in my classroom, as we have like a tech lab as one of the periods in our during our normal school hours. But some kids wanted to do it at home using their own iPads or anything else, and I said, yeah, you can do it that way. So it was like open for all students comfort level. So some enjoyed doing it in the class with their group members, and they really had fun. Like, so everyone was doing in their groups, either in the classroom, outside, in another room, and they made it. As you can see, when we were making our first introduction, it was like everyone is having a really good time, but a couple of them wanted to do it at home, so I kept that option open as well.
And it's also a way to provide accommodation for students who have anxiety issues, whether it's foreign language anxiety or public speaking anxiety, because a lot of those students just decide to not take language courses because there is definitely a performance aspect to language learning.
Yeah. Yeah, during my class, we usually have this presentation, the VoiceThread presentation, as at the very end of the lesson plan, so that they are very well versed with the words and the phrases in the target language that we are using that are related to the lesson plan. So they are comfortable using all those words and phrases, and then we shift them to the VoiceThread. But with the proficiency, in order to build it, yeah, we usually give them a lot of time. Yeah.
And then we have a comment: integrating technology, it's not really a question, it's more of a comment, but integrating technology and especially VoiceThread into the language class is a great tool to improve students' communicative competence, especially for teachers who teach a second language implementing the CLT strategy. I think what's really great about VoiceThread is that we have plenty of opportunities in the classroom and even in the online classroom to have synchronous exchanges, but to have the opportunity to record yourself and then re-record yourself if you want to, and then listen back and get feedback is really useful. Quick question about the cost. So I think Bhavya went over the cost of VoiceThread, and then if you scroll back in the window, there is a free account. There is a free account for anyone who is at least 13, and you can create up to 5 voice threads, and you can comment by microphone and text and share your voice thread via a shared link. Now, if you want a more structured environment, if you want it to integrate with your course management system, you're going to need to purchase a license, and then classes are created. But you can use it for free, and then you can create 5 voice threads and then erase them and reuse your free ones. Pretty much like Padlet did recently with their licenses.
Yeah, and when I want to add to this, to Miss Edvige's comment, is that last year when I was trying to implement my VoiceThread in my school district for the first time, I asked them that I want to first run it through and see like how we are comfortable putting it up. So they grant us like for a month of free number of exports that we can use them in the class, and then if we like it, like free account, then we can upgrade it to the normal, we buy the license. So for a month you can use it for free, like a trial period account.
Browsing there. Okay, here's a great question here. We have a question about Google Expedition. Do you want to talk a little bit about Google Expedition, Bhavya, or do you want me to just jump in on that?
Anything. Google Expedition, what's the question?
The question is, can you comment on your experience with Google Expeditions?
Google Expedition is a good device, like a good application. Is just that sometimes you have to create a lesson or design a lesson according to the availability of the things. Like for example, we are still the library is still being created. There's some things you don't know, like won't be able to find it in their library, and then that is a problem. Other than that, it worked really well, especially for India's virtual tour. It really worked well.
But I think one of the issues with Google Expedition is that they don't have a lot of expeditions in the target language yet.
Yes, yes,
They have
yes.
some in Spanish, and they're beginning to add some.
Yeah.
But you know, this connects well to somebody else's questions about, can you offer any suggestions for connecting to heritage speakers outside of the US, or I guess, you know, target native speakers?
With the VoiceThread?
Yeah.
Telecollaboration, I think VoiceThread is a good, as I have mentioned earlier, that you can share your presentation. You can open it up to a larger community, inviting the whole world, open it to the public. And if you want to share it with a specific community, then you have to invite those members. You have to enter their email addresses and make a different group in that VoiceThread. And definitely telecollaboration can work with VoiceThread and it's as long as you have their email addresses and their permission, you're good to go. Yeah, it's a good tool. Yeah, a nice question.
Yeah, it's a great tool for that.
Yeah.
Somebody is
thinking now.
If I have an account in the cloud, do students need to have an account to use it? So yeah.
Yes.
There are different setups with VoiceThread, and it depends on what you purchase or whether you're using the free license. But you can create users within VoiceThread for your students, and then everybody uses the same logins, which can create problems because it also means that if they don't select the right student account, they might record over each other. But it's completely cloud-based. And students do need to have an account. It doesn't work with a class code if this is what you had in mind. So yeah. Message. Yep. Any more questions on VoiceThread, or you know, is anybody interested in sharing their experience and the ways they use VoiceThread, or are thinking of using VoiceThread? All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, oh, thank you, Mike. It's a good tool, and the focus of this presentation was the online classroom, because Bhavya developed some of these projects when she took a course called Teaching Languages Online that's offered in the fall. It's actually open for registration if you don't know what to do for PD this fall. And it's a really good tool because you can upload any kind of media. And so it's a good tool for speaking and listening. And I had asked Bhavya to focus her presentation on speaking and listening because these are the most challenging skills to develop in the online classroom. Not so much reading and writing. There are tools, but VoiceThread is also a tool that can be used for reading and writing, because in the center of the VoiceThread, you can upload a PDF and you can have students read, you can have students annotate, you can have students circle part of the texts.
Yeah.
Although I just learned about a great new tool for reading called Perusal, but it really is, it has many interesting applications for the online language classroom.
Yeah, and they have like they have their own inbuilt applications with Khan Academy, Flickr, and Google Classroom, where you can easily collaborate with all these and download their images and the video files that are available on their sites. Mm-hmm. So Google Classroom was not there till last year, and we were having some kind of challenging issues in how to integrate Google stuff into this, but they have integrated it this year. So this is a really nice feature, strong feature of VoiceThread.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's mentioning Flipgrid. VoiceThread has a few more options compared to Flipgrid, but these are comparable tools, I would say. So the name, somebody's asking me, there is a reading, so there's a tool for reading called Perusal. And it actually integrates with Canvas. And I don't know if you guys follow the fltmag.com which is a magazine on technology integration in the language classroom. I'm typing in the chat window. We have a review coming up of that tool, Perusal. If you're interested in tool for Perusal is a tool that allows you to upload different types of readings and create collaborative tasks for students. And Flipgrid has more limitations than VoiceThread. And somebody's asking about permission from participants. Marianne, can you clarify your question? Did you say something about needing permission from participants?
I thought I heard that in the answer to a response about working with people necessarily in the classroom. I just thought I heard that, and so it's just.
So you are saying that if you are inviting the larger community or people from who are in the native country, you are asking that?
I don't know. I thought I heard that in one of your answers, and of course something about needing permission. So I just kind of was trying to.
Okay, so just wanted, I'm sorry, I was not clear at that point. So the thing is that if for example, if we have a school that is in India and we are having our students do a telecollaborative activity in which they are sharing their resources with the native language or other advanced speaker students in that country, and they are replying them back. So are they having the media release forms that from that school that we can use their videos if we have to share it here in US? So that is what I meant that time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Somebody emailed me about asked whether this was a good tool for teaching American Sign Language, and I think it is. I think this is a great tool for anything that's video based. I think has some value for American Sign Language assignments.
Yeah, because at the same time you can add the script to it. Yeah.
All right. If we don't have any more questions, I'm just going to say a few words about the graduate certificate. If it's okay with everybody, just really 5 minutes. Bhavya, is it okay if I
yeah, sure.
Control?
Yeah, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Bhavya.
Thank you, Ms. Agrish.
So just a few words about the certificate program. This is the website, and I need to update it because we just opened registration for the summer courses. And so right now, you only have information on the homepage about the summer courses, but I just opened registration for the fall courses. So the Certificate in Language Teaching with Technology is a 12-credit program, 12 graduate credits. And you have a variety of courses that you can take in the fall, in the spring, and in the summer. And you can take the courses in any order. Some courses are 3 credits, some are 2, some are 1. And so there are 2 required courses, but other than that, you can really take and pick and choose from a total of 21 credits worth of courses. And so if you're interested in gaming, you can take the gaming course, or there is the Teaching Languages online course. And then let's see. I'm going to go to the courses tab. Registration right now is open for the fall courses, and we are offering 5 credits this fall, and I'll be teaching the Teaching Languages online course. It's a 2-credit-hour course for teachers who want to learn about what it takes to put a course online. And the way we do this is that every week we look at a different topic: assessment, the role of the teacher, things like that. But also every week students work towards putting a small unit fully online. So it can be something they built from scratch, or it can be a unit that they are already teaching and that they are moving to and transforming into an online unit. So that's the Teaching Languages online course, and it starts September 15th. And then there is a 1-credit-hour course for teachers who want to work on their proficiency, where they're paired with a language partner. And then there is an 8-week course called Tools in Practice, and it's another requirement where every week we look at a different technology. We look at digital storytelling and flipped learning, and we read articles about those approaches, and then we learn about the technologies that we need to know in order to be able to do this kind of project. So that's the certificate. You don't really need to apply. You can just register and start taking courses. And if you want a certificate itself, you just need to take the required courses, and then when you're done, you basically get a certificate of completion from CU Boulder, and also you can download a transcript showing the coursework that you've done. We also, and I'm going to take a quick peek. You don't have to send any transcripts to start taking certificate courses. It is not a degree. A certificate is not considered a degree. It's more of a credentials, and so, or type of credential. And so you don't need to apply formally. Basically what you do when you're ready to start when you're ready to register for a course, I think we have, here, there's the register now button. And you have detailed instructions, but what you do is you need to apply please select a career. So I'm not sure what's going on here. Clearly it's not working very well today, but I think we just switched to a new system, so I will need to update my instructions. I actually got an email today saying that the new system was live. But what you do is you click on the application button and then you fill out some information about your name, last name, your address, a little bit of background information. The minimal requirements for the certificate is to have a BA. And my personal requirement for you to make the most of my courses is to be involved in the world language education. Because if you're not, what we do is really not going to be interesting for you. Right now I'm teaching, we have 3 courses offered this summer. And so we have 60 language teachers taking those courses. So you don't have to send transcript, you don't have to write a letter, you don't have to do any of those things. You register and you start taking courses. Let's see. I also want to mention the book club. This is something that I started, I think, last summer, and it's completely free. You basically join the book club, and we read 3 or 4 books per year. And we just finished this book here on differentiation in the language classroom. And you can see we've read Explore Like a Pirate, Social Media, and Launch. These are the books that we read in the past year or so. I think we started last summer. So you're welcome to join at any time. It's held on Facebook, and we're, I know not everybody's on Facebook, but it's just, it's hard to pick yet another platform. Maybe we'll move at some point to a more neutral platform. And then the last resource that I want to mention is this one. It's also a completely free resource, and it's called the FLT Mag. And it's a magazine that I started 5-6 years ago, and I'm just in the process of transitioning the FLT Mag under the International Association for Language Learning with Technology. And I'm going to publish the July issue here in a couple days, and we have 9 great articles on a wide variety of topics related to language teaching and technology. So it's a place where you can do a little PD, read, connect with people, and also publish if there are projects that you do and that you want to share with other language educators. So, all right. So the Facebook group for the book club, I don't have it offhand, but if you fill out the registration on this page, I can send you this link. And you can also probably look up Language Educator Book Club on Facebook and find the group and ask to be admitted. And there are just a couple questions where you have to confirm that you're a language teacher to join. All right, that's it. Do we have any more questions? Or any questions at all about the program, about VoiceThread? Are we good? Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Merci beaucoup, tout le monde.
Thank you.
All right. Then, all right, great. Well, thank you for attending this webinar, and be in touch, check the website, or, join our mailing list. I'm just about to advertise another webinar on virtual reality games. So it's going to be an interesting one, kind of a Pokemon style virtual reality game that one of my former students developed and refined over the years. It's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.
Stop sharing and stop my